Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be the makings of a good one here. It is gonna be the top bot, and been the top bot for quite a while. It's Eris. Taking on Eris is gonna be the feature of many of my videos. It is Sharkbot, which is not surprising, seeing as how it's a great Protoss bot that plays, that gives us epic late game battles generally. I believe I have cast Sharkbot against Eris in the past, and the results were that Eris did win. However, with the late game as good as Sharkbot, I do wonder if there is some scenarios that it can beat Eris. So I thought, let's check out another one. And it just so happens we're on Equilibrium, the AI edition, which, looking around, is a pretty late game friendly map, which could really play into Sharkbot's strategy. We shall see though. As yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this video, make sure to go ahead and slap that like button like it owes you money. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. Leave a comment saying more bots if you want to see more of these long, epic bot games. And then consider becoming a YouTube member if you do want to support the channel. And yeah, away we go. We've got expansions going up for both of these bots. Sharkbot has opened up with a forge, being a bit of a cheeky Protoss. It does this sometimes, in which it will block the natural and the third base of its opponent, which is quite a cool strategy, as it can really mess with AI of certain bots, as it's one of those things you can put in little investment at times to get big returns in these versus bot matches, because of course programming bots to handle like a single cannon or a single bunker, it's not easy to do without like a massive overreaction or underreaction. So we see a cannon going up, nicely tucked behind this pylon. We shall see if Eris pulls a bunch of drones to shut this down. Looks like that probe of Sharkbot is in a bit of trouble, getting zapped and bit, or zap it away and getting bit by the drone. It turns for a second there and does end up getting killed. 3 drones are attacking this cannon. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to kill it in time. This is a nicely placed cannon by Sharkbot. I wonder if that's just RNG or very intentional placing. The cannon will get up, and those drones are going to run for their life. 1 dies. Looks like a second will perish as well. And yeah, Eris is going to be in all-out defense mode for a minimal investment for Sharkbot to go for that. So seems to be nice. Denied a lot of mining time. It's still got a drone just hanging out over here, and Eris may delay its third base quite a bit because of this, while Sharkbot is just back at home macroing on up. I was going to say we'll probably see a Stargate, and there it is right away for the blue bot. And then, yeah, Eris just gonna potentially build up a response to this cannon rush. However, it seems to have realized that it's not that much of a full-on cannon rush, and so it is just making lots of drones behind this. It's getting out a couple roaches here and there. No third yet, so it has been delayed a bit, but as far as like an overreaction to a single cannon, we're not seeing that, which is the a result of the caliber of Eris. Now, more and more drones are on the way up. I do wonder if Eris will expand to this southern location, or if it'll want to clear this location first. This drone could be hanging around waiting to become a hatchery. There is already a Void Ray on the way out for Sharkbot. That's going to be a bit difficult for Eris to contend with, seeing as how there's no anti-air, no lair done for the Zerg. So Sharkbot's got quite a good start in this game. There is that one Ravager done, another Ravager finished up as well, able to cross-ball down this cannon, so Eris has a finely tuned response to break these kind of cannon contains. As that gets deleted, the drone moves on in. The drone actually just runs on by. It was like, no, I cannot get by that cannon safely. That is very bizarre. Now, Eris will expand now that it's dealt with that. +1 air weapons is on the way for Sharkbot. Looks like it's moving out to potentially secure a third base. The one Void Ray that it produced is just chilling back at home, unfortunately, because it could definitely be bullying its opponent a little bit. Might want to clean up these lings or these roaches and ravagers that are now attacking on in. Yeah, it's one of those things, though. Sharkbot's not necessarily programmed to know what state the game's in. It's just got behavior that acts as well as it can for all situations. So the Void Ray might come on in to defend this. Sharkbot's like, I don't know. This Void Ray kind of wants to hang out back here. Weirdly enough, a couple Zealots are moving on in as this attack hits the natural base. Sharkbot does have 2 more Void Rays about to pop out, so I have no doubt that it will defend this rush, as long as it doesn't do too much weird pathing stuff. It's like prismatic alignment getting popped to melt away one of those roaches. The positioning of Sharkbot's units does seem a little bizarre here. As far as not dealing with this goes, the third of Sharkbot is getting up towards the south as well, seeing as how its expand towards the other location was shut down, so it's cool to see the bot. It's like, oh, I'll just expand elsewhere. Eris is pumping out 13 drones at a time. And yeah, we are just in full swing macro here. I'm not sure which bot's in the lead. I think Sharkbot's in a pretty decent position, as Eris invested in a lot of units there, didn't really get too much done. However, Eris is just that beastly Zerg that macros so hard. And yeah, I have full faith in it in the late game. So we'll see, as Sharkbot moving out with 4 Void Rays now, looking to put a bit of pressure on its opponent. I like to see that. There's an Overlord getting hunted down by a Phoenix. Lings are running on into all the bases. There is Burrow done. That's probably why Sharkbot's building cannons at potential expansions. A nice little cannon wall as well at this third for Sharkbot, getting up a couple gateways. Sharkbot is one of the bots that does utilize Warp Gate, which not every Protoss bot does. And yeah, there's missile attacks on the way. Sharkbot says, do you think flying units should be able to burrow too? Now there's an interesting concept. Having a unit that can go from underground to ground to in the skies would, who knows, that could I could see that being a unit in StarCraft 3 in 60 years time. Now we have got a Robo Bay on the way for Sharkbot. It likes to get up Colossus Void Rays. It builds just like the dream Protoss composition, all the while these Voids are moving around. However, Hydras are about to pop on out, so it doesn't want to throw these away. It's going to find an Overlord, but yeah, Sharkbot is being very risky with how deep it's going on creep. If it can snag this hatchery, that would be nice, but look at this, lots of queens. I think it's time to go home, Sharkbot. This is not what you want. Look at all those queens chasing down them Void Rays. Void Rays are very quick these days, but queens on creep are decently fast to get a couple shots in on them. We see Sharkbot just powering up more of that tech on route, as there's 2 Colossus, double Forge, actually going up to triple Forge, which is not something Protoss can afford all the time. However, Sharkbot says, show me the money. And these Void Rays will shut down this attack, as there's some Hydras out for Eris, but I believe there is more than enough Voids to deal with this. The static defense being shut down does hurt for Sharkbot, and maybe I spoke too soon when it comes to dealing with this, as that 4th is under a lot of pressure. We see Colossus are now coming in. They'll do exceptionally well against the Hydras. We do see that Nexus be forced to cancel, though, as getting that attack off before the static defense finished up for Sharkbot was really big for Eris. There's now going to be a Ling that runs into Burrow. However, it gets zapped away right away, as there is an Observer. And Sharkbot's pathing does seem to be a bit of a weak point. It's a very good bot. However, just the fact that it's like not quite defending, it's kind of waffling back and forth a bit, as definitely has the tools it needs to defend in this position. I believe the Colossus are so darn good. The Void Rays really darn good. Eris is just macroing up like mad all of a sudden. This is the thing with Eris. You look away for a second and it's at 90 drones, getting up a hive, and Festers just able to pump out units non-stop. We see Sharkbot trying to get up another Stargate, or a Fleet Beacon this time, pardon me. Probably for Tempest, most likely, knowing Sharkbot. And then getting up High Templar. There is no Psystorm research just yet. And Sharkbot is only on 3 bases, so shutting down that 4th was really nice for Eris. Very, very important. A Stalker will come in to clean up that Ling, so good programming by the developer of Sharkbot. This 1 cannon also worth its weight in gold as far as defending that 3rd goes. However, in come the Ravagers once again, and Sharkbot isn't really defending that position as well as it needs to. We see Eris for Forest going down. Also getting a Dropper Lord, like a single Dropper Lord, which is a weird thing Eris does in all of its games. Gross Vials going down. No major unit losses for Sharkbot just yet, as it is still building up this big old Protoss army, and we're seeing a big engagement go down. One of the Colossus taking a lot of damage, not being pulled back in time. They got some big swipes off on there, however, the Roaches are moving forward, and this is where I think Sharkbot loses a bit of its efficiency, like pulling back all the units. Like the Void Rays don't need to be retreating here, necessarily. That being said, that's very, very difficult to program. We've got High Templar in the Prism now, potentially for feedback, as once again, no Psystorm research yet, potentially due to a gas shortage. And we see the Warp Prism for Sharkbot is programmed in a very cool manner. Pretty much it seems to save any unit that's around. Like, it's just like, alright, if there's something that needs to be saved, I will pick it on up. Burrowed Roaches are being cut down by these Void Rays and Colossus. Eris can afford to lose a lot of units here, though, before it has to get too worried, as it is on 95 drones. Aspire's on the way. The upgrades are looking real darn good. The Protoss economy has slowed down quite a bit with that main base starting to mine out, so getting up this fourth is really critical. I don't think Sharkbot will survive if it gets cancelled once more. We have a Burrowed Roach moving around. That boy will get killed. And then the fourth for Sharkbot has been established. Its mining is just getting online. However, in comes Eris for another attack, looking to kill this. There is a couple batteries here this time, which is important. There's the High Templar Prism Micro with the feedbacks, getting some nice feedbacks on those spellcasters for the Zerg, preventing things like abducts or neural parasites, or too many of them anyway. We do see a big fungal go down, though, and one of the Colossus has been neural parasited. However, I think there is enough Protoss here to shut this down, as that neural parasite has now run on out. The queens and everything are getting zapped away. A cannon does finish up. Battery overcharge is still on cooldown, so I don't believe that's been popped. That may be useful for Sharkbot to pop already. It is a bot that's pretty darn good at using that usually, and Sharkbot holds on to its fourth base. Getting some more static defense up there is really important to keeping this location safe. I am surprised by the lack of Psystorm. It may just be like a gas thing, that it hasn't been able to build up 200 gas, as I know Sharkbot does utilize Psystorm against Terran at least. This time it really has been relying on the feedback to counter those Zerg spellcasters. In comes the Zerg once again, by the way. Vipers do get feedbacked, and Abduct goes down. Doesn't quite get that Colossus into the Zerg army, though, so these Colossus are getting some big shots off still, as this one Giraffe just wanders forward and starts trampling on Roaches, up to 46 kills, as Sharkbot is holding on and weathering the storm, for now anyway. And it kills off a lot of resources of that Zerg. The problem is Eris has now taken all the bases on its side of the map. Sharkbot's still only on 4 bases. This one cannon is so good for Sharkbot in regards to keeping these Roaches away. The Protoss building up an army, 150 supply, which is pretty decent. I would like to see another Colossus get made, as it did lose one. And they have been doing a lot of the work if we look at the kills for the Protoss. So another Colossus is on my wish list for Eris here, or for Sharkbot here. I'm a little bit concerned, though, as this attack comes on in. Once again, Eris does not have any breaks. It just attacks and attacks and attacks. Battery overcharge off cooldown once again, able to keep these Protoss units at full shields. That is so darn important. The High Templar being juggled in the Prism again. We do have 2 observers out for the Protoss as well, so these infestors could be killed potentially. We'll see if they get some more neural parasites or anything off like that. I didn't realize, though, that the Zerg was starting to encroach with spore crawlers along the front here. Sharkbot's still contained on 4 bases. Looks like a 5th base attempt is getting shut down by a Burrowed Ling. Another attempt at another base, and it's like, nope, Burrowed Ling. How about I try that again? We shall see, though, if that ever works. In comes Eris once more with a big attack. Sharkbot's holding on, though. It's got a big Void Ray count. 10 Void Rays. High Templar dropping feedbacks. There's a massive fungal on the Voids, though. Eris doesn't have that much anti-air, though, with a lot of this supply in Roaches. So Sharkbot's still getting some really good efficiency with these Void Rays and whatnot. Battery overcharge healing up those Protoss unit shields. That is worth its weight in gold. and it is really critical that Sharkbot uses that, so great job by the bot author to program that. All the while, Eris is just being a beast saying, hey, I'm going to take that Nexus you were planning on taking. So Sharkbot's having a really hard time getting up a 5th base. It's trying, and the redundancy as far as its attempted expansions is so huge. As like, look, it's tried to expand very south, the gold, and now it's trying to expand to the north. Getting up a cannon at this location could actually free it up over there is a bit of creep causing problems. Sharkbot's still at that 160 supply mark. It's now getting up Psystorm as well for its High Templar. It's like one of those warping in does get killed off, so nice pick off by Eris, and we are seeing attacks all over the place. The cannons for Sharkbot are helping shut down some of this. A battery overcharge actually gets popped to save the probes, which is a bit overkill, as it might be more useful on the front, as there has been a lot of probes being killed throughout this game. 84, 85, so a lot of resources are going towards replacing drones just due to these couple roaches of Eris. Like a single roach, how many kills do these have? That one's only got 3, and I guess they are dying, but they're getting probes here and there. That guy's got 10, so these roaches are doing work. We see this cannon has been shut down. It's being reestablished as Sharkbot's like, no, I need a base. You can't have them all. Eris has other ideas, though, as creep is still very far forward. We've seen how much of a problem creep can be for some of these bots, and oh my gosh, it's a very deadly spore crawler for us. Moving on up now, that is just comical, as the spores for Eris are being directed all over the place. Moving up to the front now. They seem a little unsure of where to go, but it's almost like they're alive, being controlled by this bot, as they can all just be microed all the time, which is not an easy thing for a human player to do, but of course not an issue for a bot. Sharkbot has got up to 170 supply. Mass feedbacks and Psystorms go down, just destroying this Zerg army as those spellcasters get removed from the equation, and the Zerg force itself is not that good against this Protoss fleet. There is still just the 10 Void Rays. Another Colossus was made, which I'm a big fan of. How many kills does that Colossus have? 92 kills on this Colossus. It goes to show the value that Sharkbot gets this game. It's up at 16,000 resources lost to 32,000, so trading at 2 to 1. I think it's still going to need another couple bases, though, to close the gap. It's almost maxed out, or it's getting maxed out almost. Like it's, I mean, it's been a very slow crawl to maxing out. However, it's further than it's ever been. 180 supply. We see Adept Shade being tagged, which is really bizarre. Adept's at the 17-minute mark in the game. Eris is now going for Broodlord that's got its Spore Crawlers. However, the Tempest are a good counter to those, so are the Colossus are not bad for poking forward. These roaches are getting cleaned up all over the place. We still have the critical Wall Zealot for Sharkbot holding the door. No 5th Nexus yet for Sharkbot. It wants to get that up. It's revealing, and it does clean up the creep tumors successfully, so very well done. Using an Oracle for that is a really cool tool. Sharkbot's also built more cannons to defend this 4th base, or this 3rd, pardon me. That's really critical, and Sharkbot's getting up a 5th, putting a little more gas in the tank to keep it going in this game. That being said, it's not going to be easy, as Eris still has so many resources at its disposal, and it can probably keep trading for like another, oh, I don't know, a long time, because it's mining on Sharkbot's side of the map. I will say the feedbacks with the High Templar and the Prism is so darn cool by the Protoss. Just the instantaneous drop feedback lift up. That is something that human players have spent like a decade practicing, and it's still not easy to do. It's one of the hardest things to do as Protoss, I think, while controlling your main army and everything. We are seeing Sharkbot get confident. It's got a mothership out. We see a Viper toss down, a Parasite Bomb. Good split off on that Void Ray to keep it away from the main fleet there. Then it kind of groups up with the rest of them. So he did a little bit. And then yeah, Eris saying Parasitic Bomb. Sharkbot saying Mothership Cloak. However, I believe Mothership Cloak is broke in this version of the game, actually. Sharkbot's looking to break on out of here. And so far, it's having really good success against Eris. It's losing some resources here and there. not taking perfect trades. It's locked on 5 bases for the most part, but if it can, say, take this 6th base or 7th base, that may be all that it needs. We saw a previous game in which, in a previous late game in which one of these Zergs against Benbot had a hard time dealing, or Xena had a hard time against Benbot because it didn't change up its composition. Eris at least does that. It's getting out more Corruptors in its force so that it can try and actually counter all the air units better, which is really darn important. Sharkbot is still looking very formidable, though, almost at that 200 supply mark. The Corruptor count isn't quite high enough to do much against this. I mean, they almost grab a Colossus, and they are softening up the mothership. Due to Sharkbot's weird pathing, it doesn't gun those down right away. Broodlords are being chased away. The Zerg has got some roaches skirmishing with the Protoss units in a non-stop fight. Protoss healed by the batteries, the Zerg burrowing to heal those roaches up. And yeah, what a game this has been so far. Sharkbot showing us that its late game may just be the absolute best late game out of any of these bots. As, like, in games that it can get up the later expansions, it does so darn well for itself. We see a Neural Parasite on one of those Colossus. Looks like it is being targeted down by the Corruptors, or it's a Tempest in there, pardon me. It's really hard to tell with this Protoss just death ball what's actually in there. Broodlord harassing this Nexus. Eris is still trading out at about 2-1. Does it have enough bases to keep that going for now? But that might not be the case for long, as Sharkbot is trying to free up this gold base. Eris is mining out on its side of the map, or at least at its more internal bases. We see Sharkbot be like, yeah, that base is probably free. I'll throw an expansion down there. I clicked on Eris's vision for a second, which just goes to show us the chaos of the red pings on the minimap of just where these bots are skirmishing everywhere. You look at Sharkbot, look at its unit selection. Oh my gosh, the Starcraft 2 engine does incredibly well to handle these bots as well as it does. Like, the developers of Starcraft, like, they programmed a very robust engine, but I don't think they programmed one to have with like 100,000 APM in mind of bots. But by gosh, does it hold up well. We see feedbacks hitting all or most of those Protoss, or those Zerg spellcasters, pardon me. So that is really neutering Eris and taking away from its cost efficiency. We look at the banks though, and it's looking real darn good for the Zerg with 11,000 minerals, 6,000 gas, and Sharkbot is quite broke still. I guess it's just trading out faster than its 5 bases can support. It's been losing a lot of probes this game. That's actually, I think, been one of its main expenses, as there's a Broodlord at the back of the base being a big old pain, and Sharkbot is one of those bots that's not immune to falling into the probe trap, in which you keep losing probes, so you make more probes, then you don't make army, and it can be a potential death spiral. So we'll see if that's the case or not, as Sharkbot moves around with stalkers out on the map now, killing off some drones and a queen, it seems, or at least trying to, but it's non-stop skirmishes. The Protoss death ball still hanging around, a disruptor being added into the mix. And I think, yeah, just the weakness of Sharkbot is probably one of its greatest strengths, that it stays so compact as a death ball. However, that does lead to situations, for example, where a Broodlord isn't really being dealt with. A couple Stalkers may try and deal with it here. It is susceptible to be pulled apart, though, and we are seeing Eris really execute attacks from multiple angles, not hitting this 5th base, but trying to attack this 4th, and then just moving all over the place. And yeah, I think you definitely need to have some sort of small skirmishing programmed into most of these bots, just so they don't get tunnel vision and caught in one location. Sharkbot's still maintaining 180 supply. It never really hit that 200 supply or started building up a large bank. Its trades have been really darn good. However, Eris building up the bank still. It's trading that well, trading well enough, and denying enough of the bases of Sharkbot that Sharkbot could be in a lot of trouble here. This hatchery never dying is really problematic. Sharkbot's locked on 5 bases. Its income has fallen down to 1,500 minerals a minute. And Eris still just mining away at 4K, which really goes to show how good Sharkbot or how good Eris is, and just how good both these bots are, with Sharkbot staying alive for so long and how efficient it is. But efficiency hasn't been as perfect as it needs to be. Like, if you're going to stay on 5 bases all game, you need to have up, like, 5-to-1 efficiency or 4-to-1 efficiency. 2-to-1, which is not even what Sharkbot's getting right now, is not enough here, I don't think. Cannons are doing wonders against these burrowed roaches. That Broodlord is still being a pain as the Stalker shoots away on it. The Protoss force has taken losses here. Losses that Sharkbot's having a hard time replacing. Like, it is down to 170 supply now. Hasn't been able to get up that 6 base. That hatchery is so darn low, actually. Like, 1 or 2 more Stalker volleys and it will perish. Well, not even volleys, just single shots. Stalker and cannons do snipe. They do actually snipe off a Viper, which is nice. Those are some high-value pickoffs. Disruptors can be microed independently, which makes them even more scary. However, there is, of course, counter-micro by Eris going down. The Adept Shade, I suppose, may just be for vision by Sharkbot, which is a really cool use of the mechanic. I never really thought about that, just because it's not some... Like, we see pros do that in the early game when they have Adepts, but to actually program your bot to utilize Adept Shades like that is really darn cool. This hatchery is still alive. A Zealot does run on in. The problem is drones and the Queen are taking one for the team here. That Zealot gets healed up, runs out, runs on in. He's got a lot of hate against the Zerg there. He's like, let me fight, like the Carbot Zealot. Cannons killing off a Queen, still getting some good value there. The Protoss hovering at 170 supply, which is, I think, a bit of a canary. If a canary in a coal mine. If Sharkbot drops below 170 supply, which it just did, I think we may have to be a little bit concerned here due to Eris's bank. Now, Eris is short on gas because it hasn't taken all of its extractors yet. In fact, it's got quite a few that are not mining while it's mining the minerals. We see the cannons can actually shoot drones mining at this base. If this hatchery dies, I do wonder if Sharkbot would eventually move out to take it, but just due to the fact that there's a hatchery there, I wonder if that is denying it. We see a beautiful trade with the Disruptor there as it kills off 2 infestors. So Sharkbot is still fighting the good fight. However, a Broodlord to the top being a pain, actually killing off a critical assimilator, denying mining at really the last base of Sharkbot at this point. This Phoenix is a godsend, killing off this Broodlord, actually. And this hatchery is still alive, however, and Sharkbot falling in supply. Its army supply is still really darn good. It's just lost some probes. And I do wonder, like, what is Sharkbot gonna do? How long will it sit back here and just get whittled down? I think the answer is indefinitely, and it's such a shame that it hasn't been able to take this hatchery yet, or to kill it, as it's been so darn low. However, the drone presence really distracts the Stalker, so it's not gonna target that. Battery overcharge gets popped once again. Disruptor Nova's being tossed on out. Sharkbot's army efficiency is insane. Most of the resources it's lost has been in, I guess it's lost some Stalkers, High Templar, but then a lot of probes. Like at 50 minerals a probe, 100 probe, that's 10,000 minerals, right? Oh gosh, math. So, well, 10,000 between all those probes, so that's a little bit concerning. We see a Neural Parasite going down on some more of those Protoss units. Sharkbot falling in supply even further and further, as it's down to a measly 26 workers, and its income is really non-existent at this point. And this has just been a slow death, it seems, for the Protoss. Like, this is the time that if you're a human player, you just A-move and hope for the best, I feel. That is not Sharkbot's style, though. I don't believe it's got, like a final charge thing programmed into it, though, so it probably will just get whittled down and whittled down. Eris is really running out of gas, however, it has taken more extractors, so it's going to keep fueled up on that, and I mean, Eris is going to run out of gas long after Sharkbot does. So, that's a bit concerning. We see Protoss army still just hanging out, deleting Zerg left, right, and center, but 5 bases isn't enough. It needed a 6, and it's just not going to happen. Even its 5th is under threat by these Broodlords. These Broodlords that act independently for Eris. They don't really group up with the main army all the time, so segmenting some of those off is a really effective harassment, it seems. Sharkbot is trying to break this location, to push those Broodlords back, and it does successfully, as it does save its last little bit of mining. But what it really needs to do is kill this hatchery. It even dealt some more damage to this hatchery, but it hasn't been able to kill it just yet. There's a probe coming on in. The probe is like, I need this hatch. Was it the probe that actually damaged this hatchery? I did not see that. We got a roach now in the natural, as Eris is just so darn broke, or Sharkbot's so darn broke. It's making probes with its last minerals, which isn't good. In comes that probe. Zappy zappy on the hatchery. Yeah, it's the probe that wants the hatch. It's like, I need this. We need this. And yeah, Sharkbot still got a good army, but anything it loses at this point, it will not replace. Eris has got 23,000 minerals in the bank. This final Nexus may actually die, which is impressive by Eris, that it was able to break this Nexus instead of just having Sharkbot eventually run out of minerals. It's now denied the mining of Sharkbot, so that ultimate late game is not infallible. It's not like it was just that Sharkbot couldn't get up another base. The Broodlord attacks from Eris were really strong, so maybe Sharkbot needs a bit more anti-Broodlord play, like maybe having a Tempest circle the map, where the Phoenix did good for a moment there, but we even see Eris instantly take this hatchery, which is just rubbing salt in the wound. Sharkbot is in a lot of trouble here now. Parasitic Bomb goes down on that Protoss army. We see that War Prism does fly away since it's covered in Parasitic Bomb, so there's countermeasures for that. The Prism trying to be a hero, save probes. Battery overcharge gets popped. The Protoss army will not be destroyed yet. However, any unit that dies is just massive losses that can't be replaced. We see a Disruptor get abducted, so say goodbye to that Disruptor. As, yeah, oh my gosh, Eris is really showing us why it's the top bot, as the Broodlords come in with a beautiful concave. The army on the ground is threatened. Sharkbot is backing up into a corner, running away, abandoning ship. And I wasn't sure if Sharkbot was going to win this one. It was looking good for a moment there, but then the lack of being able to get up a 6 base really did it in. And I do wonder, if this hatchery died, would that have inspired Sharkbot to move out more, to secure this location, to keep mining? And maybe it would have. We do see abductions, corruptors coming on in, neural parasites, fungal growths all over the place. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is going to be that, as there's no coming back from this one for Sharkbot. I'll definitely cast more of these games in the future. Of maybe, I was thinking maybe like Sharkbot versus Benbot next, as it's been a while since we've done one of those. See which of those two bots is the better late game. Eris is just such a beast, though. So incredibly well programmed. Sharkbot very well programmed. And yeah, leave a like if you made it this far in the video. Subscribe if you made it this far, and click that bell icon. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. Consider becoming a YouTube member if you do want to support these videos, the daily bot content. You can check out the perks with that join button or the link below. And then, did I say leave a comment saying more bots if you want to see more of this? And yeah, that is going to be that. Sharkbot takes a long time to die, even when it's got no money. It will eventually die, though, as Eris just so beastly with lots of gas to mine still. Even taking Sharkbot's base. And I will say I'm surprised by how many roaches Eris made, but was still able to kill off that air army. Seems the trades with roaches just attacking the ground army was enough. The Void Rays actually did end up killing that hatchery. So who knows? Maybe Sharkbot does win some of these late game matches, if it is able to get up a 6 base, kind of like watching Benbot against Xena's Zerg. If Benbot was able to get up a 4th, it won the game. So maybe that's the condition, get a 6 for Sharkbot for it to be able to take down Eris. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.